Now let me tell you about the nutrients. As you know, we get our nutrients from food, and food gets it comes from plants. And so when we get the consumed food, not all the nutrients will be absorbed by the body. A great portion of it is excreted. In fact, most of it is excreted because it cannot be used. And so it is excreted via urine. So the urine contains nitrogen, potassium, it contains phosphorus. There are very rare instances of these nutrients being recovered from the urine and then used as fertilizers in agriculture. So the biggest one of the biggest expenses that countries have is fertilizers. Fertilizers are imported by India. 90% of phosphate fertilizers are imported by India. US imports 85% of potash and 50% of its nitrogen fertilizers. So what's happening is humans are going through this whole process of mining. So we are mining all these elements, or this what you call the fertilizers, to produce fertilizers for the crops. We are mining them, and then when we have our food, then it's lost and it goes into the rivers and seas. So it's a linear way of losing the nutrients. We are not making it circular and putting it back into the agriculture. So we will always keep mining for more and more of fertilizers, right? So lakes and streams which receive an excess of nutrients are suffering from oxygen depletion. Fish kills. So when it goes into rivers or lakes, you will find algal blooms. That's because of the wastewater carrying all the nutrients going into lakes and reservoirs. You'll find all the green algal blooms, water hyacinth, and that causes the fish to die in the rivers because it takes up all the oxygen. So it's killing aquatic life. And then the other problem is the synthetic fertilizer manufacturing. It also is a very polluting industry. And now with a growing population, more and more people need food. So fertilizer factories are going to expand, right? And then we are not bringing back those nutrients. So they'll always be getting lost in the system. So now I go back to the Indic understanding of hygiene and environmental protection. So the ancient Indians not only knew about general hygiene in terms of washing hands, bathing, but also sexual hygiene. They were very, very well versed with it. And they knew that disease-causing pathogens need to be isolated from settlements. They should not be near places where people live, eat, or they should not get into water. This was very well understood in ancient India. Under no circumstances are human waste, blood, or hazardous substances to be allowed to contaminate water. This was very well understood in ancient India. So hygiene, disease prevention, environmental protection, and the need to recycle nutrients in human waste. All these aspects were very clearly understood by our ancient sages and even the population. So if you go and look at the Indic texts such as Samhita, Charaka Samhita, Manusmriti, Vayu Purana, Vastu Shastra, Kama Sutra, Artha Shastra, all of them have principles which we could have used to extract global best practices on having a healthy natural ecosystem, which we have not been aware of it at all. So just look at this. I want to give you the proof about how much knowledge we had about pollution. So Charaka Samhita says in the 27th chapter, the river having water polluted with soil and feces, insects, snakes and rats, and carrying rainwater will aggravate all doshas. Slimy, having insects, impure, full of leaves, moss and mud, having abnormal color and taste, viscous and foul smelling water is not wholesome. So, this is, Charaka Samhita is very ancient, about 4th century BC is what it is said to be, said to have been written in, but it might be much older. And already they are talking about how rivers can get polluted with all these animals and how you should not be consuming this water, right? Now, the much reviled Manusmriti, you only hear negative things about it, but look at what it says about hygiene. I'm not reading the Sanskrit part. Let him not throw urine or feces into the water, nor saliva, nor clothes defiled by impure substances, nor any other impurity, nor blood, nor poisonous things. There's one more. It says, far from his dwelling, let him remove urine and ordure. Ordure means excreta. Far let him remove the water used for washing his feet, and far the remnants of food and the water from his bath. See, so All this goes to say that we had a total understanding of what constitutes impurities and what should not be a part of our food or water, right? And I'll tell you why we need to know all this, right? So we knew, the Manusmriti talks about what are the impure substances. This is one of the most ancient texts which is laying out what are the impure substances, that if you touch them, you need to wash your hands, you need to clean yourself. Semen, blood, urine, feces, nasal mucus, ear wax, phlegm, tears, sweat. So just imagine, they knew that all these substances, you can't just touch them and then go and have your food. You can't touch them and rub them over your body. And you'll be surprised to know that this was not known to other parts of the world outside outside Greater India. It looks like this is so obvious, right? In 21st century, we all know that these things, when we touch any of these things, we need to wash. But it was not known in other parts of the world.